the plant guy business, would I buy that today? Absolutely not. But I didn't know. Like, it's just like you learn, right? Like what deals make sense. It's like when you're first flipping, like you buy stuff and you're like, and then you start doing more deals and you're like, I would have never bought that deal 5 deals ago because I know what I know now. So it's like, that's part of the learning experience.
Always learning.
You have moved over into buying businesses, right? I want you to tell us about that transition and kind of why.
Yeah. I haven't really ever cared about what vehicle I was in. It was just more about like the outcome that the vehicles would create. And I liked real estate. Like, again, like I'm literally JVing on a mobile home.
You're doing it right now.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, just like here and there, I'll pop into deals and like, as long as I don't have to like do anything besides just like bring some money and like some knowledge,
Right.
But I think it was just more like, I really liked business. Like business is my sport. I don't really like watching any sports. I don't really have hobbies in that way. Like, some guys do where they like follow their teams or whatever. I'm just like, I just like business. Business is my hobby. Business is my sport. And so I looked at, the business space and I'm like, okay, like I'm building, a rental portfolio and like we have, I built, some cash flow and some net worth in these properties and, which is cool. But whenever we were, because we started, started other businesses outside of real estate and I was just like having fun doing those. I was like enjoying that more than just the, the wholesaling business. And so, it really just started transitioning where I'm like, okay, well, I just started, reading more books and I'm like, okay, well, you can get rich in real estate and you could build, grid net worth and cash flow in real estate. But I'm like, man, like you can get like wealthy in like private equity and like, like guys, like think about this, right? So this cleaning, I will give you just an idea of an example on this. So I bought into this cleaning company last summer. They were struggling with their margin, right? They were doing about $2 million a year. They were like 3-4% net profit. But like I could look at their P&L and understand what was going wrong. Like I could read it and it was telling me a story. And I'm like, okay, if I could help fix that story and, then we can turn this thing around. And, I'm not telling people that are listening to go buy broken companies. Please do not do that. Like I wasn't buying this to live off the cash flow of this business. So like, let me preface as I'm going into the store and someone gets excited. But I'm like, okay, it's like 3 to 5% net profit. And so we get into this deal and within 8.5, 9 months, now it went from literally barely making any money to now it's trending. This year it'll do probably 3.5 million to maybe 4 million if we keep ramping up the way that it's going. And it's on, we're almost at a run rate of $80,000 a month in net. Last month it was about 60. So it's like within under a year. And what that does, like, so like enterprise value, like when that business is doing $1 million a year in profit or, $1 million a year in EBITDA, like that's a business that, the valuation for like the cleaning business, anywhere from like a 3.5 to 4 times multiple. So like a business that was, bought into it for only a couple $100,000 last year for a third of the company. Now it's, 3.5 to 4 times the valuation of $1 million. So it's worth, call it 3.5 million to $4 million by the end of this year, just with it just staying kind of on the rate it's on. And I'm like, okay, 3.5 to 4 million for something that I put $200,000 into.
It's crazy.
Like,
wild.
And like, and obviously I only have a third of that. So like, let's just be clear. I don't own 100% of it, but it's like, I can't do that with like a real estate deal. And it's like, you could only force appreciation so much.
Like,
right.
So it's, so that was kind of the interesting thing was I'm like, okay, I could get into these deals and I can like add value through, strategic changes and pivots to the business. We can go buy other ones, bring it up under it, get, the arbitrage of, multiple companies together going and the profits that they can generate. So that was kind of the thing that was interesting. And, there's also a part of me that is a Dave Ramsey fan and like, which is, it's like, where am I going with that? But, it's like, I like to like in my personal life, like I like having things paid off. And so like, I look at it's like, I get into a deal and it's like, okay, like this deal, when we sell it, that's what we'll use to buy, we hope to buy our Hawaii home.
Yes.
After
That's
we
cool.
sell it in a couple of years.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I remember you saying that, which is like the opposite of what you kind of see on social media is like, leverage debt. and all
Leverage
this
everything.
stuff.
You should just be leveraged to your eyeballs on everything always. And finance your car because you can get a 2% increased amount by, having that money out somewhere else. And like, I think there's like a good like middle. It's like not being so, crazy leverage, not being so much on the Dave Ramsey side.
Totally.
I think there's like finding a healthy
medium.
Yeah.
I agree. But it was refreshing to hear that perspective from you because no one's saying that.
Yeah.
It was either like Dave Ramsey or leverage your life.
Just go all in, 100% finance everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's not that cheap anymore, but when it was, everyone's like, money's cheap right now. Just, so what kind of businesses have you bought or started at this point? Because I feel like the last time I reached out to you, you guys had bought the plant business.
Plant guy,
yeah.
Did you see it? Have you been watching Rock the Block, Cody?
Of course not.
I saw your story, the moss wall on the staircase.
Yes,
I saw it.
That was it.
That was you guys.
So classic.
Thank you, by the way. That was amazing.
Was awesome.
But like what kind of businesses have you started or bought? And then what is really your focus? Now?
So now, like we learn in everything, right? Like having like a more detailed strategy. So like the plant guy was just like, it just was a deal we got into and like, there wasn't like a specific strategy of why. And, I started working with that now coach Adam over this last year. And now I'm hyper focused on the businesses that I'm wanting to invest into. I'm only buying in Arizona. I have this home service, the residential cleaning company. I'm going to, dinner on Monday with a guy that owns a pest control company and trying to, shake hands and shake the trees and like find deals. And, my plan right now is just to acquire home service businesses that then have synergy with each other. Cause like we're cleaning 1,200 houses a month with the cleaning business. So,
Crazy.
I can then have the pest control company's customers cross-marketed. And the strategy now is getting, home service companies with recurring income, contract revenue, not project-based, because just stacking the odds in my favor of recurring income revenue sources. And so that's that's the focus from the business buying side. And then, Scale with Pros is really, more consulting and, coming in and helping companies scale and, fix operations and things like that.
Yeah. When did you start Scale with Pros?
It was like end of last summer.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I know that was always something you were super passionate about, was like creating systems, building teams to do essentially what you're doing now with acquiring businesses, is making them run efficiently so they're all profitable.
Yeah. So that's like kind of like I look at it as like the foundation now, where it's like the consulting company is there to work on different businesses, work with clients, and also the team that whenever I'm investing into a business, then it's that team that could work on the business. And we can, have that same team work on the deals that I'm investing in. And so, and what we'll do is like, we buy in and then we charge like a retainer back, like a management fee back to our consulting company for, the salaries of the team members that, are helping work on those businesses. And so that's what the focus is now. And so like the plant guy business, would I buy that today? Absolutely not. But I didn't know, like, it's just like you learn, right? Like what deals make sense. It's like when you're first flipping, like you buy stuff and you're like, and then you start doing more deals and you're like, I would have never bought that deal 5 deals ago because I know what I know now. So it's like, that's part of the learning experience.
Always learning.
I mean, and it goes the other way. There are a bunch where you're like, I would have bought that one, but I didn't buy it back then, So, I mean, there's a lot of people, there's so much information out there now, right? And you hear a lot of people talking about buying businesses. And I guess my question would be, if somebody was out there and they're looking to start a business or buy a business, what would you recommend someone do first? Is it smarter to start your own business, or would you think it's better if you could find a business to buy?
I think if someone has like zero professional skills, they should not be buying a business because like they're probably going to run it into the ground. Like, you know, like let's just be real. Yeah. Like let's just be real. It's like they're going to probably mismanage the crap out of it and jack it up.
Right.
And so, you know, sorry to those that are like excited about maybe doing that. Maybe it's better to work in a business that you would want to eventually buy, so then you could learn the business and then buy it, because now you at least know how the business should operate successfully. So that's what I would rather tell someone to do if they don't have the skills yet, because it's you know, you can screw up businesses for sure, and it's like you gotta be making the right choices. And so for me now, like I don't like even starting like the consulting business, like I was like, I don't want to do this. But the only reason I did it was because it's like just going to be like the foundation for working with the businesses that I partner with. So it's just like, it just like made sense. Right. But I didn't want to start up a new business. Like I don't ever want to really start anything new again. It's just so hard. It's just not fun. I hate the product market fit stage of business. Like it's not fun for me. And so I would much rather buy into stuff that's already, you know, doing, you know, 750 grand, $1 million, $2 million a year, maybe 3 million a year, and work it up from there than, you know, something from the ground up.
Yeah.
I'm blowing up like you thought I would. It's all good.